Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous. We are sans Craig because he is celebrating the 16th anniversary of the birth of his middleest child. It's the most awkward way I could say that. So we continue where we left off on the last episode, doing a Ash and Chris episode, which, as we mentioned, at least privately, hey, we haven't done one of these yet. So that's kind of cool. As always, Occultists Anonymous is sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Don't mind me, the Paxpox. That one has just made its way into my brain. So if I start to say things,
it's a terminal case of the domes.
Completely terminal. But yes, thank you to our patrons who support us monetarily, allow us to do cool stuff. Like you mentioned last episode, Craig has got a new mic coming. That'll be super cool. He has an orb. Orb. Then I think the next thing we're going to do is possibly new art, maybe. We'll see. We have options thanks to you guys. Specifically, thank you to Emil, Alexander, Melissa, Moku, Cat Feathers, Giovanni, Noba, Elaine, Puppeteer, Cinna, Danny, Michael, Brandon, Josh, Perry, James, Schmitty, Thomas, and Ryan. Thank you guys so much for your support. It does mean a lot to us. It means we get to do us playing our game like normal, but then we get to do stuff that, at least for me, I've never done. I've never gotten character arts. These guys have. You can actually, if you come on Discord, you can see our little silly cast of superheroes or masks. But that literally was the first character art I've ever done. That's my first character I've ever had. It was super cute.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had them for like
everything.
All the D&D characters I don't play.
Like including ones I know that you had like 3 sessions with, and because
they live on in your hearts, man.
Yeah, they do. So yes, when we last left, Songbird got his soul literally forged with mana, and officially joined the Forge Master's legacy. And so he has some cool new spell-like abilities, to use the D&D term. Not really magic. Sleepers don't care. There's no dissonance. He can just do these things. Very similar to, if you guys remember, Steampunk Grandpa changing his appearance and stuff like that, just at a drop of a hat. Boop, yep, no big deal. Santiago has a similar trick with his vehicle.
What
also, legacy
gives you that?
The BS one that I didn't actually make, but just decided that's how he's going to do his thing. You already have a legacy. Go away. I made you one. I take that back. I made myself one, but I happen to know that Atratus would like it. Yes, he got himself forged. Met up with Thorin, his master's master. Does that make him his grandmaster? I don't think that's quite. Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. You can call him Grandmaster Thorin. I feel like there's a rap joke in there.
Grandmaster Flash, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then, meanwhile, Gabe tells Atratus that, hey, I have a really terrible idea. There's this weird ghost, and I don't know what's going on. Let's go find out. And Atratus said, oh, sure, that sounds like a grand old idea. It is in our territory. And, well, I mean, she is the Ghost Whisperer. And as of episode 60, whatever we're on, she has whispered to 2 ghosts.
Yeah.
So she's got a backlog of ghost whispering to do. We met said ghost, one Katherine Reed, only a few months dead. She and her wife Olivia were killed very, very shortly after getting married. And then now doesn't know that she's a ghost and is begging Atratus Alyssa, to help her find her wife. And as Gabe pointed out, she's cruising around like without anchors and apparently is just fine. And even Gabe, who's got a fairly steady, flow of essence coming in, he's like, I couldn't pull this just hanging out thing because, Gabe has a whopping 10 essence and you're losing 1 per hour. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So yeah. You had found the obituary, found where her parents were. That's where we had left off, and we're taking the train. I
was going to the graves.
Oh, okay. Yes. Regardless. Yes. Regardless, heading out on the train to the mausoleum. So while Choo Choo that goes on, Songbird, what are you up to? And everybody brace yourselves.
Songbird would like to do a research.
Yes, it's okay. Nobody freak out. He is technically allowed to do this. I double checked his character sheet. It is a legal play. So what are you researching? Where are you going?
Good at it, but I want to know more about these grimoires, and I think Songbird is starting to feel pressure from the concilium about everything that's about to happen, and so the idea is that he would very much like to decide where we're going next.
Sure.
And figure that out. Okay. And kind of take that trip before everything else goes to hell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those of you not sure, we're talking about the Concilium doing dumb stuff with the Vampire Prince in New York.
Yep. Well, yeah. By doing dumb stuff with, you mean killing him.
Overflow, yeah.
Yeah. So I think my idea is to go and talk to Hiza and Judd.
Okay. Which, as we determined, I think literally 2 episodes ago with the Concilium meeting, you do have Mysterium status. You are an honorary nerd.
Put on my fucking glasses, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So you're heading to the Athenaeum, the Museum of the Native American Indian. Can't remember the exact title.
I saw that this weekend.
Did we take pictures?
No, I just sort of walked by because it was raining and cold.
These guys are terrible. We keep sending them to New York.
Alcohol. Don't tell nobody.
Not yet. That was on the way to the first bar. But no, it was raining and cold, so we were trying to get away.
Scurry by, sure. So yes. Yes, you guys head over that way to the museum and make your way to the elevator that previously, weren't allowed to, but now press that button, sink
Push
down.
all the buttons.
Yeah. And make your way down to the -3rd basement level or whatever it was. And merge out into Nerd HQ. There is, a decent number of folks moving about. I imagine it's probably mid-afternoon after you chatted with Colossus and Thorin and said your goodbyes and said, hey, I'm going to go hang out with the Mysterium, and they both give you the side eye. What are you going to do? Inside, everybody's kind of moving about with, purpose and that kind of stuff. You had been here before, so I would go so far to say, where his office is. And obviously the main...
That's about it.
Yeah, that's true. And over that way is where you dropped off Titus. And then there's a bunch of books out there. Yeah. So you're headed to Hiza, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hiza, says open when you knock. And you can actually see that it takes a whole 2 beats for him to realize that, oh no, that's right, he is allowed in here. And goes, oh, Songbird, don't take this the wrong way. You're the last person I expected to be here, but kind of stands up, walks over, opens, motions to a chair, kind of moves some books and says, well, what can the Mysterium, what can I do for you? What's up?
Is Judd around?
As far as I know, I think he's in meditation.
How are things going with him?
I will say that we have made more progress. Unfortunately, I think he's getting to the point where things are starting to weigh on him. Where I think our time was a new and novel place full of interesting things. I think the literal weight of years is starting to affect him. The realization of the life that he had is gone. His people, like in a macro sense, are effectively gone. And he's definitely feeling an aloneness. So you, who gave him his brilliant name, actually might be a pleasant thing for him to see.
All right. Could you point me the way?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. And just, kind of steps up, kind of walks in, and just kind of points down the way. And it's along this kind of mezzanine upper level of the library, and there's large kind of back rooms. And he points
and at, about 10 decibels too loud. I'm just gonna be like, damn, y'all got a lot of books.
There are some looks and some yep. We all know Songbird at this point. And
what up, y'all? How you doing?
So you make your way back over that way. You do find yourself picking up a small, might I say, tiny little tail, as there is a little cat that starts to follow you.
This is the knowledge cat?
Mm-hmm. Not that Songbird knows that, but yeah. This is the nerdiest cat you've ever seen. He totally has glasses.
Is that cat
on.
wearing glasses?
Yeah. Well, he's got markings, to be fair, but yes. But yeah, it just...
What up, cat?
And it just kind of looks up at you and just waits. And if you stop moving, it plays around at your feet, but otherwise follows you over to you, Judd.
One pap for its head.
Sure. It's totally chill.
Keep on going.
Cool. When you open the little door that you were pointed to, it's not quite like Zen garden in a literal sense, but it definitely has this quiet meditation ritual room kind of feel to it. There's some music playing. The walls are painted where everything else is kind of almost industrial looking. The walls here are kind of painted blue. It's a kind of calm, relaxing room. And Judd is just sitting on a super comfy, super worn leather recliner. That I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to read a book and you're out in 5 minutes kind of recliner. And so he's kind of sat back, leaning, and then one eye opens and Acanthus. Well, actually, I can't remember. You introduced yourself as Songbird, and I think he only knows you as Songbird, right? Songbird. Yeah. Hey, how are you doing? Please. And gets up and pulls, a large stool, and brings that over kind of near to the chair, and says, I haven't seen you in a couple of days. How are you?
I'm good, man. I just did some crazy magic stuff, but it seems to be my life now.
I would suspect that. Excuse me. Sorry, I've just got something. No, I imagine that magic stuff is kind of the cornerstone of your life. So that seems par for the course.
I came to check on you, dude. See how things are going.
It is going, I think, is the way you would say it in English. It weighs heavy. I am realizing all I am missing out on, have missed out on, and now am in a place where, with the Mysterium's help, with your help, I could do almost anything I want. There are so many options open to me. The problem is none of them are familiar. None of the things I could do now have ever entered my dreams previously. And I am so disjointed from this world. It would almost be better if I weren't here.
Well, I have some empathy for that. I do. You know, I can't say that I ever would want this life. But, you know, things occur in this life according to some sort of logic. And as a younger man, I never agreed with that. I never thought that was a good answer, you know. People would say God has a plan, and I'd say, well, fuck his plan. But after awakening and seeing that there is a way that the universe fits together, there is a role that each of us plays. I see now where that sort of statement has a little bit of weight. So, you may never have dreamed of the things that you will do, but you still must do them.
I'm not ready to give up yet. I'm still working at it. I've been talking with Hiza about finding even just a minor vocation. The suggestion has come up more than once that I might serve coffee in the museum upstairs. And I think that's going to be a possible good start for me to interact with people. The people who come here and you know, visit the museum seem to be not exactly a busy museum, but the people who are coming here have at least a vague interest in something that is remotely similar to my home culture.
Right.
And I feel like that's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
But no, sorry. You came here probably for something beyond listening to my troubles. What can I do for you?
There are multiple reasons to visit. I am interested in you.
Thank you.
Not just what something has done to you.
I appreciate that. I will definitely say, and kind of like gets up from the recliner and like goes and like make sure that door is shut, and says, "Yeah, I don't know that everybody here feels the same way, so I appreciate that."
Well, this group of mages in particular are studious.
I had noticed that, yes.
Clinical, even in their approach.
Some of them are. He's pleasant.
He's good people.
But yeah, there are some of them who, more than once, I have been referred to as the Grimoire. That has been dealt with.
That's not great.
But
anyways,
yeah.
But I do. You are also right that I came to take a look at the Grimoire part of you as well.
And as somebody who helped take me out of a 1,000-year some prison, anytime. And yeah. As a side note, as you're doing that, I am going to point out that because it came up in chat, Judd is a deviant. yes, the Cabal is one of his touchstones. So yes, them.
I gave him a good points.
Yes, a good
I don't know
point.
how Deviant works, but
Yeah, fighting off instability effectively, which would basically be his power is going rogue and, developing.
I don't even know what his powers are.
Yeah, we don't know anything about him, really.
Nope.
Does he know anything about him?
He has some knowledge of what he can do.
Okay. I don't think it's occurred to Songbird that he can do anything yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because deviants are not like a categorized thing. Like each of them are so unique.
Reject says someone needs to feed their dog.
No.
Poor baby Layla.
It's just Layla being Layla.
She's just whiny.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm going to use my legacy power, snap the finger.
Mm-hmm.
Just takes like a second to focus as I'm gonna say looking at like Jeb's arm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know like big thicker bones are likely to have more of the inscriptions on them
Sure.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a little less personal than here. Let me take a look at your thigh, bud.
Yeah. Spread them legs.
Woo!
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you have a number of questions equal to your dots in prime, which, if I remember correctly, are 4.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're
Based
using
off
the
of
optional stuff because you
supervision.
really don't care about the chemical composition of his body.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well,
Are his bones made of bone?
yeah, Mars bone's been a bone.
Okay.
It's under supernal vision. So yeah, I'm gonna ask who made this?
I feel like you get this like a maker's mark, like a symbol. It's not quite a nimbus, but it's somebody's effective signature. Don't know what it actually would appear as, so remind me about that afterwards, and I'll actually come up with something. But yeah, similar to stuff that you've seen Colossus do, and definitely a bunch of the stuff that's in the armory. There's this kind of maker's mark kind of thing. Somebody was proud of making him into a grimoire. But it was definitely a I'll go ahead and say go so far as to say it was definitely an Abrimos.
Okay. First solid answer I've gotten on this. Doesn't explain how the fuck they made the other ones then.
No.
And then we already established previously that this is aligned to Stygia.
Correct.
What is the maker's gnosis?
Let's see. Current or was? Well, actually, regardless, same answer. 10.
10. There we go.
Ash's face. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I missed it. Cool. And then I think I've already made a logical leap to this answer, but how many arcana does the subject know?
Okay, well, I'm going to ask this to make sure you are asking the same question. How many arcana does he have? As in, how many arcana does he have dots in?
Yeah.
Okay, all 10.
Yep.
Perry says, we don't have Craig here to go.
Yep, everything's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. These are things that I had sort of already guessed.
Chris had guessed. Songbird is now confirming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Songbird had guessed them in character as well. We had that scene talking with Isa
that's right.
Colossus and stuff.
Yep.
No, Songbird may have guessed it because Chris did, but
sure. So
God,
that's
he is so
1,
good.
2, 3 questions. Who made it? Gnosis, Arcana. Yeah, so you have one more.
That's probably okay for now. Like, I think I don't know what else to ask right now, so
okay.
That's fine.
I wasn't sure if you were going to ask about their highest Arcana or anything like that.
I mean, I assume it's, well, fine. What is their highest? It's probably Prime.
Yeah.
Or sorry, how instead of asking which one, how adept is the target at their highest rated Arcanum?
7.
7, yeah. Okay.
Where's Vex? Where's Vex in the chat to freak out about, it's an Archmage.
Imperial Mysteries.
Yep.
Said as Crocker. I don't have the energy for it right now.
Nope. Because we limp along.
All right. And then I think I probably just sit and chat with Judd for a while.
Okay. He kind of shares some complaints, but especially you being here and checking in on him person to person, you can definitely feel a little bit of a swing of his attitude and mood. Definitely, feels like he's being treated as a person. Talks about he is actually excited about, at least a couple hours a day getting out. He says he's, very interested in looking into coffee, and learning that. He's like, it's a machine, talking like about the espresso machine, and like there's stuff going on, and there's all sorts of machines all over the place now, and he's like, I'm gonna learn this one. I'm gonna start here. Having never used an espresso machine, I'm like, that thing looks arcane to me. There's so many gadgets and levers, and
if it's dialed in, it's very simple. If someone fucks it up, it takes a while to get it back to where you want it.
So, and Reject 4X, glad you were able to tune in. Cool. But yeah, I gotta find his silly character sheet because it's not supported on Roll20 just yet. But yeah, his lowers his instability as he chats with you. Cool. So we jump
We can
back.
cut to Atratus for a while and then come back to me. It's fine.
Yeah, and so we jump over to getting off the train in Brooklyn as you make your way to a cemetery. Actually, real quick, just because it's going to bug me. Cemetery versus graveyard. If I remember correctly, yes, cemetery does not necessarily have a church. Graveyards usually have is part of a church. Yes. So you go to a cemetery. And graveyard keeper. Anyways, sorry. It's it's a nice, quiet, cleaned up place and stuff like that. And there is a fairly large mausoleum that takes up most of the space. It's ornate and well done without being like grandiose. And stuff like that. And you walk in, and there's a nice, quiet little greeter who helps direct you to the particular urns. I mean, they've got the big plaque thing sealing them away. Sealing them away. But yeah, where they are.
I was wanting to see if I could see bodies, but I don't have anything that lets me see through material. I don't have space.
Correct.
Forces.
Can I sense any anchors here?
Oh, yes. Yeah, walking through the cemetery, peripheral mage sight is going off. Ghosts are all over this place.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere there is an Avernian gate set up.
Yeah, I was trying to specifically see if Catherine or Olivia had anchors at their bodies.
Gotcha. I think that like getting that close, the whole like, you can sense where anchors are. I feel like as you get close, like putting your hand over like Olivia's thing, you don't feel an anchor back there, but with Catherine's, you can definitely feel that there's an anchor back there behind it.
So one of her anchors is her body.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Will finding an anchor help me learn how to resolve it?
Resolving, generally speaking, is convincing a ghost to give it up. And for me, without having dug too heavily into Geist just yet, for me, it's that whole acknowledgement and giving up of that's not me. I'm not connected to it anymore. I'm separated from it. Gabe is probably actually pretty close to, should he want to, could probably resolve that anchor himself to his body. Like he's definitely shown like, I am not Gabe. I'm new Gabe. I'm Gabe 2.0 or Gabe remastered or whatever.
Gabe in.
Yeah. As a
puppy.
Okay. So I mean, theoretically, I could bring her here and just sort of be like, "Look, Graves."
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that might not be the best way to break this to her.
It might not be, but
can I sense that there are bodies there?
Bodies?
I want to make sure that they're both like dead and here.
Oh, you could with matter. Locate object or
ashes.
Yeah, because you could, if I remember correctly, with matter, that silly detect substance.
Yeah.
You can be like, Catherine's body and Olivia's body. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for Olivia.
Okay.
3-dot spell. I need.
And you get a number of substances equal to the potency. So if you want to take a -2, that'll let you pick. That'll give you 2 potency, so you can find 2 objects.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can specify Catherine and Olivia's ashes.
And do it in 1 spell cast.
Yeah, and do that. Okay, so I'm doing it instantly. I don't need scale because I'm using potency to find the second one.
Correct.
So I really just need 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got 3.
Right. So roll that 6. Oh, right. Matter. Sorry. 6. 4. 9.
0 successes.
Oh, no. Oof.
I'm just doing great tonight. If I try again, it's at a -1. Okay. So 8.
There you go. Little bit of frustration.
1 success.
Hey, it still counts. And little frustration as you're like, no, I should be able to do this, and then immediately you have video game style, glowing through the walls. You can see the shape of these 2 urns, and you have the distinct Catherine and Olivia's bodies. Okay,
so they are both
dead and
here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. That's what I was wondering. I was just like,
no, 100%. Good idea.
Okay, well, got that. I do want to go, I guess, make contact with their parents.
Okay.
Because I want to find out what her other anchor is. like what is keeping her here, other than not knowing where her wife is.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach out to them on Facebook and like ask about some of the charities they're working with for that were like Katherine's interests.
Gotcha. Let us make that's because especially since you're asking like you're a nobody. Let's do a I think there's going to be presence plus persuasion, but let's do this at a -2. As this kind of rando sends them a Facebook message. Two successes. I mean, you're getting the successes. So, do you just like chill at the cemetery, or do you head back, or?
I'm probably gonna go to like a coffee shop or something relatively close by.
Okay,
I don't just want to hang out at the cemetery.
Right.
I've got what I came here to find. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you find a place to put your feet up for a little bit, get a coffee and wait, and it's a little bit before you get a reply back, and it's not a clinical reply, but it's a very like standoffish. Hi, thanks for the interests in Katherine's charity stuff, and they give you basically this kind of like build your own website kind of link to like these are all the things.
Squarespace.com. You can build your own website.
Yeah. But yeah, very, very much kind of, one of the cousins put it together kind of thing. And it's just like, these are all the big charitable organizations that Katherine was either involved in herself or is the parents' way to, kind of support her memory.
I'm trying to think of how to really handle this, because like in character I've done this before, but I haven't like actually, so I'm not sure what the best way to bring this up is.
Well, where are you trying to go with this?
How to tell a ghost that she's dead.
Okay, let's roll wits plus occult. What is the good idea kind of thing?
Two successes.
Okay.
Oh, I have a specialization in ghosts also, so that would have had a +1.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get unless you roll a bunch of 10s to get an exceptional success. But what? Well, I mean, two is plenty enough. Most ghosts, once they're kind of like grab hold, point them at the obvious stuff of what's wrong, especially with a rank 2. Most of them understand and realize, oh, I am dead. So much stuff makes so much more sense. Similar to because we're going to draw on the ghost movie everybody knows best, Sixth Sense. Like he's interacting, going about his life, and everything just because of his perceptions coincidentally works out. And it takes somebody actually grabbing him and saying, "You're dead," and then he goes, "Oh shit, I'm dead."
Whoa, spoilers, dude.
Dude, that movie is so damn old. And generally speaking, depending on the integrity that the ghost has, whatever is left over from when they were, generally speaking, kind of gives you an idea of how well they handle it. Most ghosts don't have breaking points except for a couple specific things, and most of them are like crazy underworld stuff, like drinking from the river Styx or the rivers of the underworld and stuff like that.
Okay, well then, yeah, I think my tactic here is going to, because I said I would meet her again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I go back to the store, is she still there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I'll just do that then. Go back there, because I still have my Speak with the Dead up and all, so.
Oh, right, because it lasted for a day.
Friday.
I guess that's true. Because Speak with the Dead lets you see the ghosts too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
The
walking
cemetery
through
is just full of
the
ghosts.
cemetery was full of ghosts. Yes, so you make your way back to the shop, and again, she's just looking at this point, though it's definitely a little bit later because you've been out to Brooklyn and back, and the streets are a little bit quieter and stuff like that. And as you approach, she actually does that whole look into your face thing, and then recognition kind of comes over. Alyssa.
Mhm.
Hi. Has it been a day already?
While doing this, I am talking on my phone because I don't want to look crazy. No, but I have found your wife.
Oh, thank goodness. So let's go.
Yeah. Just come with me.
Okay. And she walks with you, and she's been looking at Gabe, who Gabe has just been super chill, and he has this expression that you're used to seeing from him when he was alive, which is that I know I'm not supposed to be my boisterous self. I'm putting on my serious face. I'm going to be quiet. But on top of that, he has this very quizzical, he's trying to figure out a puzzle. Something is not making sense to him, and he's observing a bunch of pieces, and he's trying to put this puzzle together. Very similar to you, probably, with how is she just cruising around without essence bleed? I'm following you.
I mean, you could study it.
I mean, would studying her help?
It is a mystery, so you could get some information, but bear in mind, because scrutinizing is a invasive thing, and everybody, regardless if they're magic in the mage sense or not, can tell this is some deep personal soul gazing kind of thing. So some people probably are going to freak out about it, but yes, that is definitely an option on the table.
Okay, well, while we're on the train, I'm going to ask her if I can look at her. Don't just want to say magic, but it's related to how I can help you.
To kind of prompt and stuff like that. Do you couch it in can I read your palm, or something like that? Something on the occult side, or
this is more like reading auras.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't need to touch you, but I can look at you very closely.
I guess so. That's fine. And she's sitting in a train seat across from you. Gabe is, swaying on this thing that really doesn't make him sway, but he does for the hell of it. And she's a little unsure, but she's I think that's okay. Definitely kind of not sure.
Yeah, it's a gnosis and death roll to scrutinize.
Correct.
2.
Mm-hmm.
And 1.
Mm-hmm.
And 6.
Christ. Okay, let me do some quick math here, because sorry, it's a opacity 3, which I think you just blew out of the water, because 6 by
exceptional
itself
success clears 2, right?
Clears multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So 1,
and if
2,
I already cleared the 1.
2.
Well, and actually,
yeah, you smashed it.
Yeah, because if it's opacity 3, 6 by itself is all that you would need total. So yeah, you're cleared on through, and then you can go ahead and roll one more time to reveal.
2.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she is a ghost. She's tied to Stygia. Her essence bleed is very odd, though. You're kind of looking her over, and at this point, you have scrutinized ghosts. I'm sure you've scrutinized Gabe. Gabe is kind of your baseline for everything you've come across, and where Gabe seems to have this ephemeral, esoteric leak of essence. just, he's got to pay Essence to get up in the morning. And then when he's not around you, he's just pouring Essence out. This woman doesn't seem to have that leak.
It's very odd.
Very odd. And kind of looking over her pattern, capital P, magically speaking, you can find that leak, and it's the, all the ghosts you've ever seen. It's in the same place, air quote, right? And there's the spot where she would have a leak, and somebody has slapped some duct tape over it, metaphorically speaking. Metaphysically speaking, somebody has found that little spot where Essence bleeds out every hour and has stoppered it.
Is that a spell that's active on her?
No, because active spell you would have noticed turning on Mage Sight.
Does it have the sign of a nimbus on it?
Now, this is, as far as you can see, pure ghost bullshit. But it's not something that you've ever seen before.
Okay. All right, well, I will note that. I'm still going to take her and show her that she's dead, but
okay.
That's weird. I will look into it.
Sure.
But yeah. Okay. Go on to the
cemetery?
Cemetery? Yeah.
Okay. And Gabe kind of steps up and says, I know you have a rapport with her. When you tell her, I'm probably going to sit down with her. If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be good at this. Okay. So if you're good with that, I'll just you take the lead, and then she's going to be distressed, and I'm going to step in. That's going to be my cue. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. You see, he's over here like psyching himself up to
ready to be a good
ghost mentor.
Ghost.
Yeah. But right. She's kind of Katherine is kind of looking at the two of you talking, and she's not sure, and she's looking around. She's like, Alyssa, this is a cemetery?
Yeah.
And as she's kind of like, I imagine you're walking towards the mausoleum, she's looking around, and you can tell she's looking at ghosts. She can see the Avernian gate that's over there, and her eyes are kind of wide and a little bit concerned. But yeah, you guys make your way inside.
And here is Olivia. And you.
And me. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and like looks, and Gabe swoops in. He's like, "That's my signal." Arm gently to a bench, and like sits down and like kind of leans his head down and just quiet whispers like, "Been there, done this. We're gonna talk it out." And you hear a lot of stuff that it's like is straight out of some Phantasm Society brochure of "Welcome to your new
so
life.
You're dead.
It's okay. You have a new life now. You are dead. You're not who you used to be, and it's okay. There's ways to continue living and have a
welcome
successful
to the medium place,
right?" And kind of sits there and talks with her kind of quietly for probably a good bit. I don't know if you interrupt or just kind of sit back. But for now they're sitting there talking.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can really learn from here.
Okay.
I've gathered that they're both dead. They're both here. I will mention to her that one of the things keeping her here is her body. Your attachment to yourself?
Right. So, if what Gabe was saying, if I'm understanding it, it's the thing that keeps me from going to the terrible, terrible underworld.
Right. How about we, like, out of character, we discussed that, like, there are different... A ghost having their anchors resolved and moving on is different from being sent to the underworld?
Correct. Because basically, once you resolve your anchors, there's nothing holding you here, and the underworld will draw you in. The Geist, and this is what, Gabe is once a ghost has actually resolved their anchors and is ready to move on, the Geists the Sin Eaters have a ceremony that they perform, and they literally, instead of being dragged to the underworld, they dissolve and float off and fall apart and move on, as opposed to getting dragged to the underworld, where their existence continues in, the hellacious underworld, and they either become part of the fabric of the underworld, or they live on in the border towns, or get dragged into a dominion, or all those lovely, terrible places that the Phantasm Society would love to kick the ass of.
Okay. Well then, yes, there are parts of it that aren't so bad, but I believe that eventually you do have to go to the part that really sucks.
I'm not okay
interested
with that. No.
Yeah.
And kind of looks at Gabe and says, he said, your siblings, and he's been dead for a bit, and he seems to be doing just fine. So if it's all the same to you, I'm going to stay living. Or, living. Fuck it.
That's fine. If you want, I can put you in contact with the Phantasm Society, Rebecca's crew. They can... I don't know that you'll really need them, because you seem to be different. Most ghosts can't wander the way you do.
Oh.
Rebecca's people have ghost dinners, which then enable them to do that for a few days, but you don't seem to need that.
Well,
do you have any idea why that might be?
No, I'm, no, I just, I go to this shop I did go to the shop to look for my wife. That's all I can remember.
Do you remember your parents? Have you visited them at all?
Oh no, they live, upstate. It's a pain in the ass to go visit. So I guess I am a little bit faster, and I don't really get tired while walking. I guess I could visit them. That's true.
You definitely could. Gabe took off to, where did I say we were from? Like Georgia. One weekend just to go visit his old frat, and came back. There's nothing really binding you to normal human speeds.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Especially if what you're saying is right, and I can just wander wherever I want.
That seems to be true. I don't know why. It's very odd. You could test it, but I don't.
I might test it. This Phantasm Society, and she kind of like leans forward on the bench and kind of looks down the hallway out to the outside of the cemetery and goes, are they all that weird? Or some of them are still alive, like you?
Yeah, they're like a coalition of sorts. They are people who have died and who've come back to life by making deals with ghosts. Ghosts that are still here. And like living people who want to help.
Like you. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'd like to meet them.
Okay.
I mean, if I have some ghost superpower, you know,
You definitely have something.
I
I've never
should
seen
do
it
something
before.
with it, right?
Hmm?
Yeah. I want to meet these folks. They're in New York.
They're in just across the river in Jersey.
I guess that's fine.
But again, nothing appears to be tying you here.
No, just my body, I guess.
But it's not like it doesn't keep you bound here the way other people's anchors do. They're called anchors for a reason.
Yeah, and Gabe adds that, you know, and you know, at the cemetery with the other guys, there's a Vernian gate, and kind of points out, you know, I know it's spooky, but hanging out near it makes us feel better. So like, even if this superpower that you've got stops working, like, it's a safe place. I know everybody there. Some of them are a little bit dated and a little old fashioned, but they're all
The old
people
ghosts are
wanting
racist.
yes. And Catherine goes, "Oh joy, racists! I bet they're gonna just love me." Okay. But that's fine. You know, I mean, I'll know Gabe at least, and you, Alyssa, and you know, yeah, maybe I can help people like you guys helped me.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Great. In that case, I am going to call Rebecca and fill her in.
Okay. So yeah, Gabe and Catherine kind of keep chatting, kind of talk about who's who and stuff like that while you step away to make a call. Rebecca picks up, and Atratus, darling, what? I feel like I just got rid of you, but hey, are you coming over? What's up?
I found a interesting ghost.
Cool. All right.
She didn't know she was dead. Now she does.
Okay.
She doesn't bleed essence. Like, at all.
Sorry. Say that one more time, sweetie.
She has no essence bleed. I can see where it ought to be.
Is Gabe with you?
Yes.
Take Gabe and run.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
If you can clamp her down and leave her somewhere, that would be terrific.
What? You want to fill me in on what this is?
The only thing that I know of that doesn't have essence bleed is called a Reaper. They wear masks, changes them. They're like geists. They take ghosts into the underworld.
Oh, shit. Cool.
She's going to look absolutely normal, but somewhere on her person, she's going to have an actual mask that she will put on, and then she gets crazy, scary geist powers.
All right.
Where are you now?
At the mausoleum where she's buried.
Okay, so there's a bunch of other ghosts there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. She's unlikely to do anything there unless she's really fucking powerful.
She appears to be a rank 2 ghost.
Yep. Until they put the mask on.
Should I stay here?
I don't know. They tend to pick people off, ghosts one at a time. So don't leave Gabe like while you're at the cemetery. You should be fine because she literally has to drag them through an Vernian gate. I don't think Gabe's dumb enough to go through the Avernian Gate, and you look over as Gabe is walking. No, and so she literally will engulf and eat a ghost, and then carry them through an Avernian Gate and spit them up on the other side. That's what they do.
Okay, cool. I'm looking at them. I'm watching.
Yeah, no, they're sitting, and Katherine is just animatedly
having a nice chat
and trying to learn as much as she can about the Phantasm Society.
Okay. I'm gonna call Gabe over.
And like pats Katherine on the shoulder and gets up and starts to walk over, and Katherine kind of follows a moment later. And Gabe, hey, yeah, what's up?
She's a Reaper. Has Rebecca told you about them?
We get ghost stories about them, and Katherine, hi.
Yeah, hi. I don't really know what to do here. It's like we need to get away. I'm looking at my spells to see if I have any way to tie her down. I have Revenant.
Actually, Revenant might do exactly that, because you
puts her in the manifestation of my choice.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of your ghost powers and making you possess a pile of ashes.
Mm-hmm.
She would have a physical body, but I'm also protected from those.
In the manifestation, you could make her possess an object and can't leave while the spell is in effect. Yeah, you could possess her butt into a park bench.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that subtly.
Okay.
This is not an easy spell. I need one to make it instant, one to make it lasting. Or for increased duration.
Guys, I love you in chat. Ash, don't look at it.
Are they giving me ideas?
They're all over the place. It's not really gonna really help you.
Ghost payday.
It's a duration spell. It was stood by rank.
Mm-hmm.
Until she puts the mask on, she
is rank 2.
She
correct.
is a rank 2 ghost. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be potency 3.
Correct.
It is by default 1.
Correct.
Okay.
And duration-wise, if you have advanced scale, she's locked in for hour, day, week, year,
month.
Oh,
month. Yes. Sorry, there is. Yeah.
Okay, so one for instant, one for advanced duration. Do you one for potency?
-2 for potency.
Okay, so it's not a reach for potency.
Mm-mm.
Advanced potency just helps you if you're trying to dispel something or to prevent it from being dispelled.
Correct.
I need it to be 3, so -4.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yontra will only be 5. I will use a willpower.
Now, your Yantra bonus could go higher than 5, because remember you can overdo stuff. It just depends on how quick you're wanting to do it, how many Yantras you're wanting to throw at it.
Well, I can't use high speech because I'm trying to do. She's standing right here, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do this without her noticing.
Sure. Right. So you've got Shadow Name for how much?
For 3.
Okay. And then what are your other ones?
The loop I keep in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
For 2.
Okay.
And I could
just pull an environment from the graveyard.
Yeah.
You could do that. Or yeah.
Can I get a bonus from my necklace?
Ooh, that's if nothing else, that's a really good sympathetic one. So yeah, because it's representational, it's an anchor. I like that. That would be it too.
Just sort of reach up and start fidgeting with it, because that's not an unusual thing to do. Okay, so that would be a Yontra bonus of 6 then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so 7
and that
minus
reduces
4.
a paradox.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let me actually roll that real quick. So we're overreaching by 1, so that's 2 paradox. Are you spending any mana on it?
I'm having to do math. 7 and 5, or 7 and 6 is 13, plus 3 is 16, minus 4 is 12.
You're overreaching by 1, so that's 2 paradox, but you're using your thing, so it's reducing it down to a chance die, which is a 7. Okay.
Okay, and I'm rolling 12. Yes.
Oh, yes. And then what is you shunting her into? Or what manifestation are you forcing her into?
Yeah, I was gonna make her just like possess just like a bench that's nearby.
Okay. Four successes. Yeah. And she's looking, and you start to fidget, and because so it takes a couple seconds as you're just kind of casually talking, whomp, and she's just whoop, into, and Gabe goes, "The fuck."
We need to go.
Okay.
We're leaving.
Right. Do you let the ghosts that are in the area know what the fuck is up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
cool.
Reaper.
So yeah, you spend a little bit of time walking around, kind of talking to some of the ghosts here, and you've got this. It's not nearly as tight knit of a community as you're used to with the Phantasm Society. They're all kind of in clusters. You've got a couple folks who are from the same time
talk
period.
To their neighbors.
Huh?
Yeah.
They only talk to their neighbors.
Yes, very, very, very similar. And then you speak with the Guardian Geist, who is a old freaking like 1500s, like what looks like a young boy, and stuff like that. Hair parted, way over to the side, very cleaned up, and it's just like died too young, and he's like this glowing like rank 3 Geist, and goes, "All right, I'll watch her."
Yeah, should be there for a month, unless something sets her loose. I feel like she's probably hunting Gabe, considering she's been hanging around my area, and he's been noticing her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do with Reapers.
Punch them in the face a whole lot, ma'am. That usually works. I'll make sure everybody is aware, and she's probably just going to leave, rather than try and tangle with all of us. I suspect that you have made a bit of an enemy. So if she wasn't hunting Gabe,
she is now.
She definitely is now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. I wish you hadn't left her here, but I understand the situation, and I will make sure everybody is moving around in groups, and we steer clear of
that.
The park bench. Right. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And you can see, like, after the whole conversation, he's like, "I've never talked to a person before. This is kind of interesting." And she left a rapier. Today is a novel day compared to my normal existence of watching this gate.
All right. We're gonna go.
Sure. You guys get onto the train, head back.
I'm calling Rebecca back and telling her exactly.
I actually there's probably 2 minutes after you leave that Rebecca calls, "Are you all right?"
Like, yeah. I forced her to possess a park bench for a month.
Oh, damn, that's a handy trick.
I'm surprised it worked. I've never done it before. It works on anything. Apparently, it's traditionally used to make ghosts possess their own corpses.
Oh, that's weird. But I'm straight up moving you up like a couple spots on my speed dial.
Okay.
Because that's a cool trick.
Again, about the upper limit of what I can do. It worked, though, so.
All right, cool. And you'll know if she gets loose?
Yeah. If the spell is dispelled.
All right. Which cemetery you're at? You give her
give her all the information. It's like, again, she's there for a month.
Because
can you kill Reapers?
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
And that death mask might be really useful too. Okay. Yeah. We might go on a little hunting trip in a month. Or
okay.
Does it
I can release her whenever.
All right. So remember that whole thing about the scorned lover and you guys owed us and you totally I think we gonna be even, honey. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is going to be so dumb and so reckless, but I mean, to take down a Reaper, I'm all for this.
I think I need to spend a mana for a spell control. Yeah.
Hidden Horde. Oh yes. Yeah. Go ahead and spend a mana for spell control because that would have bumped your paradox up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Yes, Perry. It does work on gazebos, so yes, you could make a dread gazebo.
A dread gazebo.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you guys chat. She gets the information exactly what park bench, stuff like that, and she's like, "Okay, this is dumb, but I'm glad you caught her before she put her mask on because that mask could, she could range across a fairly large range of things from." I'm trying to find that because we keep calling them by their ranks, but they have actual cool terms. Hang on here. I gotta find this thing. Could range from because it's like something like lesser Geist to a minor Geist. Oh well, I can't find it now. But yeah, they can range from rank 3 to rank 5. So
yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do this had she gotten the chance to put on a mask.
Yeah,
it's highly unlikely I would have been able to do that.
Considering how you've been casting today, yeah. Okay, well, okay. So you're safe. Gabe is with you. She's locked up for a month until you let her out, and you'll know if she gets free. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is there anything she could be besides a Reaper?
I mean, there's a lot of dumb shit in the underworld, but of the stuff I've run across, no.
Okay, well.
Unless, I mean, I guess technically she could be a Sin Eater's Geist, but no.
Because she shouldn't be loose then, yeah.
Right, she would be in a Sin Eater. Yeah, no, as far as I have come across, and I've been around a little bit, she's got to be a Reaper. And if not, I will feel really, really bad for locking her up for a month. But
better safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I'll look into it somewhere on my end to see if there are any other options here. But
okay,
thank you.
Yeah.
Probably was about to get Gabe snatched.
Okay, well, yeah, everybody's safe. Crisis averted. I will tell the Phantasm Society to everybody stand down, and I'm gonna have to go dig through our books and see if we can lay a trap or we'll
just don't cross the streams.
Tell Gabe to shut up. Okay, cool.
Reaper, no reaping.
Yeah. So with that, she makes another check of yes. Okay, everything really is fine.
Yeah.
She goes full mom mode for a second, and then calms down a little bit and says, "Okay, cool." Hangs up, and you and Gabe probably have a quiet little ride on the subway for a little bit, and Gabe goes, and like reaches over, puts his hand on your knee and says, "Thank you."
Yeah, that was almost very bad.
Well, remember when I was like, haha, I have a terrible idea? I didn't realize it was a fucking terrible idea. But cool. I've learned something now.
Yeah. Good to know. Anytime you see ghosts that don't appear to be tied down, run.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, that's
All
fine.
right.
I have a really cool story to tell everybody when I get back. The Rebecca's going to make me sound like an idiot because I was. And
Okay, well, we'll go back to the house then and
Yep.
see what Songbird's been up to.
Yep.
So after I finish with Judd, I'm
Mhm.
going to go back and talk to Hiza.
Okay.
And out of my bag or whatever,
Mhm.
going to pull out our map.
Okay.
Like, look, everyone's going to be very distracted very soon
Right.
by a whole lot of things, as we were all talking about.
Mhm.
And it is of my opinion that we need to go get the next piece of this before we get distracted.
That is some decent forward thinking. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm obviously not the studious type, and my other Cabal mates are engaged in other matters, but I thought that you and I could... Well, I thought that you could help me gather info and make a decision about which of these two sites might be our next best option.
Okay. Ever have that sneeze that just doesn't actually come? And so he's kind of looked at the spot, and I think you guys have probably like drawn an X through the one in Peru, and kind of he taps them and says, "So, two sides of the globe, Yucatan or Cambodia."
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Yucatan's an easier flight.
Yeah. Especially with Jimmy going through some stuff. Maybe that's regardless of what's there, maybe that's the better choice.
To be closer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to rely on you too heavily, but...
Right. If need be, I can...
Anywhere is here,
Yeah, I can get you back pretty quick. Though it does, cause issues with passports.
Right.
But do you know anything? And like he's like pulling up a computer and typing away and kind of looking at these places and says,
yeah, like Songbird can do enough of a Wikipedia to be like,
right.
What's going on in this place?
Yeah. Well, and notably, like, especially if you kind of look over, he's got like Wikipedia open, and then he's got this little like Excel database, thing of just like a bunch of like Mysterium cross-reference stuff. And he says, well, Shanna has been down to the Yucatan a couple times. She might check with her to see what's going on around there, what the local stuff is. I don't see anybody in our Athenaeum that's been out to Cambodia.
I mean, that's not really surprising, huh? It's not really surprising.
No, not at all. It's, kind of way out there.
To say nothing of the politics that have been going on there for the last
while.
Yeah, sorry, no, that was Mysterium Brain. Yes, that's also very true. Maybe we leave Cambodia for a little bit. I'll go check with Shanna and see what she knows is going down in the Yucatan. As far as I know, it's the normal cryptid and monsters and that kind of stuff. That's why she's been down there. But
okay, is she in town right now, or
as far as I know, and like pulls up another tab. Yeah, she's here. She's been here. She hasn't left.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that seems like a good action plan, at least for now.
How was How was Judd?
Better after I was there for a while.
Good. I might make it
You
mandatory.
may want to have what's the word here? How would we put this in corporate speak?
Sensitivity training?
Sensitivity training with some of your Mysterium people.
Yeah, no, I heard
I
about
don't think
that.
he appreciated being referred to as the Grimoire.
No, that I heard about that, and yeah, I
can tell he appreciates your efforts, though.
I had words. Judd is in a not great place, and there's no reason to pester him or put him in a worse position than he currently is. Well, I'm glad you were making him feel a little better, and yeah, the rest of us in the Mysterium are going to keep an eye on him, and I will keep an eye on the Mysterium and keep him from feeling like a piece of meat.
I have a question. Do our guys know about deviants? Like, would they have noticed that studying him?
Yes, they definitely would have noticed that he has some weird side effects. But deviants as a whole, they're like, even within
because every single one of them is so different.
Yeah, within even the deviant book, it's like, oh yeah, there's Cephalus, and all that means is a broad category of somehow their minds were messed with. But that has
I meant, would they know the touchstone thing that like he needs to be?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Needs touchstone to maintain stability.
To keep himself sane and stable. Yeah. Okay.
No. Though to be fair, Ate or probably another Thyrsis are probably studying him for that side of thing, and they may kind of discover that, especially after Songbird's trip. They might realize, oh, that's actually super important to help keep him stable. So, but yeah, deviance as
what arcana would that fall under for studying? Just as sort of a theoretical thing. Mind?
For me, it depends on the type of deviant they are, because like the coactives have like some kind of energy within them. That's going to be something more forces. But because of the human nature, it's probably going to require at least some bit of life. And because the soul shattered, broken thing, there's going to be some death involved. Like studying deviants are going to be like a
whole bunch of things.
Yeah, a big conjunctional arcana. Judd the Grim.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he'd appreciate that last name. But cool. So yeah, he's a kind of chats a little bit more about the Yucatan. Yeah, makes plans for to chat with Shanna. Actually says, I'll have Shanna just chat with Atratus, and they can share notes. I will. We've already made some pointed suggestions about when talking with Judd that they are to talk with Judd and not to study Judd. But I think I'll just go ahead and reiterate some things with some of the more problematic members of the Mysterium.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, feel free to talk to them.
That'll actually probably be a damn good incentive. And that's right.
Your punishment is 2 minutes in the ring with Songbird.
Exactly. Yeah. Or
Songbird is ready.
I would not be opposed to see you dual arcana somebody on the because without making it sound weird, Judd is yours, and to disrespect your property and the thing that you brought in, I mean that's to me that sure sounds like a reason to declare a dual arcana. Yeah, I'm gonna and starts typing away, like turns
pop up that listserv.
Turns the monitor towards you, and it has basically come to our attention. Blah blah blah. Songbird has reiterated his claim on Judd. Blah 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 blah. Should you offend Judd, Songbird has declared that he may find reason to declare a dual arcana upon you. He says, does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's that send button. Atratus, you get a little text as you're on the train. That's
He
Songbird.
did what?
Songbird will kick people's ass.
Fair.
Yeah, an insult to Judd is an insult to Songbird. I think that is accurate. So cool. Any other last minute things?
I'm out of fuel for my garbage fire, so
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I need more tea. So
phew. Yep.
About done.
The hot tea is running out. So thank you guys for joining us on this special, quiet, intimate episode of Occultists Anonymous.
Almost got my brother snatched to hell.
I was legitimately,
Friday the
because
13th
I'm
and
going to point
everything.
out that Ash actually has an aspiration for monsters. Not all monsters are bad, actually backfiring. So
Yeah.
she did ask for this, but I was going, oh shit, because if they leave and Katherine finds out where Gabe lives by himself with Atratus, I'm like, Gabe gonna get got.
Yeah.
And that was going to be a thing. So I was so glad. I was like, surely she's going to call Rebecca. Surely she's going to call her. Finally, she calls Rebecca.
Yeah.
So, Whew. Yeah, lozenge.
I thought I was sending her a new ghost to come be friends with.
Nope. So, yes, thank you guys for joining us. I believe next week is going to be a solo session between me and Craig. And giving a little chance to catch up. I think he's got some Labyrinth stuff and some theater stuff to catch up, and that'll also hopefully help out with some beat stuff. We'll find out. It might be the full crew next week. We'll see.
I want to play, damn it.
Yeah, I know, right? So it'll be one of those either we're very quickly heading to the Yucatan, or we're going to be doing some weird stuff. So we'll find out, and I mean, you guys will just find out next episode. So I guess you might see some of it if you come visit us on Discord. That's yeetinto.space. Come join us, come chat with us, and share some cool episode titles. I think I've seen some episode titles mentioned already in the chat. Fear the Reaper. That's a good one. And of course, if you want to support us monetarily, that is patreon.com/occultistanonymous or staylucky.club. You don't need to put the coughs in there. Again, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Stay lucky.